Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to TNC. We are here to help you see the new you. My name is Lloyd Luna, and this is The Big Picture. Hello there, Luzon, Visayas, and the Mindanao, or wherever you're watching from around the world. Good evening to you all. It's another inspirational episode of The Big Picture for tonight. And tonight is more special because we have someone who we have guested almost a year ago. Can you believe that? If you're watching us live right now, please do share our live stream link. You can also organize your own watch parties, or you can share the same link with your friends and families through your chat groups. Pakipasa lang po yung link na ito para makapanood sila. You can also watch us live on youtube.com/tncnow and drop some comments in there, because when you do, and we choose you to be our lucky viewer for tonight, you can get an opportunity to have a gift courtesy of Unisol and TNC. The item to catch, please watch. That's washable face mask worth 800 pesos courtesy of Unisol and TNC. Kapag ka napili po namin kayo and you're living within Metro Manila, delivery is on us. Again, watch us live on youtube.com/TNC now and have an opportunity to get a gift galing po sa Unisol and TNC. Yan po ay washable face mask. All right, good. So tonight, I am not going to waste any minute because our guest for tonight is so special. I don't know what we are going to talk about tonight, but I'm sure yung kanyang journey sa pagiging certified public speaker, that's one. And of course, bilang ano yung kanyang insights na ngayon, 1 year, more than a year after the first lockdown was declared, at bilang siya po ay isang premiado, premiadong doktor, urologist dito po sa Pilipinas, isa sa mga kinikilala sa kanyang larangan. I think marami siya pwedeng ibigay na insights dito sa atin ngayon. So pag-uusapan natin yan tonight for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further whatever, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Dr. Joseph Lee, certified public speaker. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Good evening, of course, to my coach. I respectably will call you coach, and of course, I have to call you coach and sergeant because of your rank. That is a honor that you have to distinguishedly give and to recognize. And of course, as a good friend, as Lloyd Luna. So, Coach Sergeant Lloyd Luna. Good evening, and thank you to the Big Picture for inviting me again. Once again, as you have mentioned, this has been remarkable month, and it has been a year since you invited me for the first time here in the Big Pictures
And
under TNC.
Just to clear the air, I am not talking to a painting. This is real.
I am not part of the painting. It is just the background. But it seems
Parang lumabas
like,
ka na sa painting. Parang
parang
nagkamali.
lumabas lang ako.
Nasa labas
Yes.
ka. After the show, you can go back. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell us something about what has changed more than a year prior. I understand that it was April 29 when you appeared first on the Big Picture, even without TNC yet in the picture, because it was May 15 when we started TNC. And it was April 29. It was the second month of the strictest lockdown na meron tayo sa Pilipinas na ECQ kung tawagin. Have we improved? Ano nangyari ngayon? Ano yung situation ngayon base sa ikaw yung nasa front, isa sa mga nasa front line?
Okay. You know, Coach, retrospectively, when we go back to that time, okay, certainly we were not prepared for the strong lockdown, as you were mentioning a while ago. And that was the first time that we had the acronym or the initial ECQ. And then came the next few months, the MECQ, GCQ, the MECQ bubble, and the rest is what you have right now, going back and to ECQ and MECQ. Okay. Now, for what happened for the last year, was significant in a sense that we learned to know more of the COVID-19 virus, the original genome or the mother virus, as we say, because this year we had a lot of the variants already. variants coming from other localities and other regions of the continent, like your B117 from UK. Then you have your African variant, the 137. Okay, and then the other variants that we have, the P01, the P03. The P01, I think, is the Brazilian variant. The P03 is the still the variant for identification. Okay, so far, what we have now is we have certain protocols that we follow from other countries in the WHO. We have we are quite aware that there are some drugs that have been on clinical trials. There are some drugs that we say that there's not yet certain ability to really manage or cure COVID-19, but were used as experimental drug last year, like your hydrochloroquine. Okay, then we started manufacturing vaccines. Okay, there are certain vaccines that have been innovative, like the mRNA vaccines of the Pfizer Biotech and your Moderna. There are vaccines that were modified, like your the viral vectors of your AstraZeneca, your Sputnik and the Gamaleya type of vaccine. And we have the old school of vaccine, which are your Sinovac and Sinopharm. They are from China, which is uh, the conventional. Okay, so we have those. We have protocols that have changed. We have certain classification, especially from the Department of Health, strongly the IATF was on top of the health system. Okay, there are changes, Lloyd, also with regards to how we manage the mild cases, the moderate cases, the severe cases, the critical cases. Okay, when we continue to as we continue to contain the virus, okay, um, there are some at point where in the latter part of last year, we tried to make the cases lowered. But when we started opening up the economy, then the virus starts to increase again. Okay, we're not sure if these are the second wave, but presumably this could be because the variants already came in the picture. Okay, coming from UK, from South Africa, and Brazil. Okay, then we started modifying things. We improved our health protocols, but of course, because of this, some of our kababayans are still um, very lax with regards to the health protocol. When I talk about health protocols, this is mask, wearing the mask, face shield, social distancing. Okay, when we
May, may,
started,
ma-
yeah.
may mask sila, Doc, kaya lang nandito sa baba, no? So,
Oh, yun na nga. They were not following it. We gave the protocol, Lloyd, but some of them, I think, for the longest duration that they have been doing it, and when we started slowly opening up the economy and the classification from ECQ to MECQ to GCQ from some part, so they start trying to be lax on it na hindi na nila ginagawa masyado yung protocol, 'di ba? So, maka nilagay yung mask dito, yung face shield ginawang headband. Okay. Tapos they started to yung social distancing, they become closer because that's a Filipino trait, 'di ba? Lloyd.
mm,
Hindi naman tayo talagang yung parang isolated na no man's island, yung parang ay bahala ka diyan. Ako machika. We call that machika. So it came to a point that when we started doing that again, when we start opening up, it shoot up again in January and February. Ayan na. So when we open up further and made it presume that everything is okay, then came the biggest um number of cases in March, the early part of March. So the cases starts going up, no, significantly. Are the local government unaware? I think they should be aware of that because last year they should have improved their contact tracing and their testing because
Yun na rin, Doc, yung contact tracing na yun eh. Na parang iba yung sinusulat na number, iba yung email
oo.
address, yung pangalan. And I really wonder kung saan sila napupunta, no? Especially if you're just writing it on a piece of paper. I mean, how do they really manage the data? Like if you're going to a coffee shop and things like that. So,
Exactly, oo.
hindi ko,
Kasi
hindi
may
ko alam kung, yeah.
actually, Lloyd, yung ganyan, tama ka, kasi may flawed rin yan eh, di ba? So, mas maganda kasi, sabi ko, yung some LGUs has done QR coding. Mas okay pa yun, no? Kasi, at least, mabilis. No? So, unless you will fill up yung QR code mo na hindi truthfully. So, that's another thing, no? Rather than write it down on a piece of paper, alam mo naman ngayon, 'di ba? The transmission of the virus and the variant have been cascading and improving from the early on na droplets, 'di ba? Tapos sinabi nila ngayon there are claims that pwede na siyang airborne, 'di ba? So umiiba, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Even the surface, 'di ba naalala mo, I think we talked about it last year. Baka sa surface ng mga gamit, mga objects, it can, 'di ba? Ngayon parang binabalik nila. So we do not know how the
Yeah.
variants are mutating right now.
So,
But
1 year later, we still have to know more about the virus, di ba? Parang,
actually, when you look at it, it's only the virus that can cause such a global and catastrophic pandemic. Bacteria kasi, Lloyd, it is treatable by antimicrobials. Okay? So when you talk about the virus, the surviving mode of the virus is a host, a living host, 'di ba? So sino ang pinaka target niyan? Tao, human person, 'di ba? So the other one, what are living things that we have in this world is what? Animals and plants. Perceivably the virus would like the human individuals because this is where they can utilize their spike protein in order to attach to the cell and suck off the life form of that individual. No, when I say suck off the life form, they will drain you and formulate more of their kind in order to lower your resistance. That is a time wherein yung sinasabi nila, Lloyd, na ay wala, baksak ng immune system mo. Then you will cause what? Death. So before the individual or the host goes into a significant crisis or even death, magtra-transmit na yan, 'di ba? Kaya nakikita mo, Lloyd, sa hospital, yung mga critically ill, sinong tinatamaan? Yung health workers, ganon, 'di ba? Yung doctors, yung nurse, because before the patient would die, the virus will have to attach itself to another live host. Ganon. So
so,
bago yan kasi
yeah.
ganon ng hindi surviving yan eh, surviving instinct ng virus yan eh.
But anyway, the virus will never go away. So, that means pwedeng iwasan, palakasin ng immune system.
Yeah.
Ngayon, more than ever. I mean, kung dati hindi tayo nagpa-practice din ng ating hygiene, kailangan na ngayon.
Oo. Actually, Lloyd, this is it We have been living with coexisting with virus, even the coronavirus, before this came, the COVID. Naging significant lang siya kasi it is like the Spanish flu. Masyadong mabilis. But we have our ordinary virus, your adenovirus and other virus that cause flu. 'Di ba? Yung sinusitis, rhinitis, these are virus. These are very less influential coronavirus type, 'di ba? Yung sinasabi nating 'di ba? Yun ang sinasabi. Ibig sabihin less influential, hindi siya kasing baksik ng COVID-19 natin. So, at the end of the day, tama sinabi mo, Lloyd, you have to survive with the virus. How do you survive with the virus? You have to instinctively, become more genius than them, 'di ba? So, how do you do that? So, you do not have to let them propagate and to let them transmit and become or even mutate in that form to become variants. When they mutate, they become variants eh. Diba?
Nakita natin yung case na yan, especially ngayong latter part, no? Kaya talaga nag-spike talaga sobra yung case dahil hindi natin inasahan sigurado yun. Yung pa yung time na nagluwag tayo. Yung pa yung time na nagluwag tayo. But also because I think we failed dun sa what's your view on the massive or sa mass testing? Because I personally feel about it like how do you solve a problem but you don't have an exact appreciation of the number? Like
No,
if you're not these people, how would you exactly know na meron dyan even if talaga naman present doon?
We want to achieve herd immunity, okay? When you talk about herd immunity, Lloyd, you have to bring down the cases, okay? Since last year kasi, okay, given the fact in the first 6 months, okay, we don't know the activity, how the COVID-19 will move, how the virus reacts and all these things. So ano yan eh, I think that is the time that we need to study and I think we will forgive people whatever branches like the Department of Health, the IATF, because they're trying to look into what is this type and how do we counter the transmission. Okay, now that it's been a year, sabi ko Lloyd, we should have at least know how we can isolate it. When you say isolate, like what you say, diba, the more important is contact tracing and mass testing. Lesser that you say that you do not have much of the funds for the mass tracing. Of course, I think what you will do is you have to identify your barangays already. Siguro sa isang LGU, you know how many barangays are there. How many barangays you list down and start tracking down, kaya nga kailangan mag-QR, tracking down which of the barangays, how many of the individuals, how many of the families are infected. Then you start isolating them. Kailangan last year pa yan ginawa. Sabi ko nga, last year, no? This is my opinion, mga September, October. They start barraging to the barangays and start looking into, okay, kung wala kang mass testing, ganyan, pwede ba mag-randomized testing? Maari you can have your kasi they will just have to say that some of our LGU will say wala kaming tao, wala kaming mga, how can you go into people's house and start asking, or are you symptomatic, are you asymptomatic? It's kind of difficult, no? So siguro what should have been done before is like pwede sila mag-listing. If wala pa yung mga testing, kulang ang budget ng mga testing, tapos they could have randomized those who are symptomatic at that time para more or less na secure mo. You get what I mean, Lloyd? Parang na secure mo. Let's say in your area,
Nabantayan mo na.
In your area, 10 bahay, 2 doon parang may lagnat. Pwede ka na magtanong. Tapos parang nabantayan na. Hindi naman sabing you go beyond their privacy, but at least nabantayan mo para hindi kumalat. Kasi when you look at the the picture this March, parang ang gulo, 'di ba? Nagkagulo lahat, 'di ba? Parang tumaas ng tumaas, parang nagpanic. I think there was a panic on that end, no?
Yeah.
Pero yung sa
And,
side
and I think
namin, oo.
and I think one of the another important thing, Doc, is yung mga tao takot ding magpa-test, or yung iba wala din naman talagang perang pang pagpapatest. So these concerns,
Exactly.
and
Okay.
I've heard of a lot
Mm.
of cases na alam nila na meron na silang virus, but they decided either not to report, not to get tested, para sa mag-recover na lang sila. And
Oh,
kung meron akong alam na isa, dalawa, tatlong tao, I wonder how many people really withheld that information, and who knows kung ano yung transmission nangyari because of the withholding of that information. Anyway,
exactly.
Doc,
You
I'm going to pause for a short
exactly.
commercial,
Uh,
and then when we come back, ituloy natin yung ating kwentuhan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. The big picture on TNC. We'll be right back. Please stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching the big picture on TNC. Before we call in back to the studio again, our guests for tonight, I would like to invite you to watch our other inspirational shows on TNC. Please do watch U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, The Home Buyer, The Puppet Stories, Mondays 5:30 p.m., The Big Picture, Mondays through Fridays at 7:15, The Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30 p.m., Foreign Affairs, Tuesdays 10:30 a.m. Congratulations, Lee O'Brien, for concluding your first season here on TNC. HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 12 noon, moving on business. Also, you can watch the replays of this show on our stream. Well, home Tuesdays 5:30 p.m. Mental Shift Tuesdays and Thursdays 7:30 p.m. Colorado, and Wednesdays and Fridays 10:30 a.m. Manila. Man and More Tuesdays 8:30 p.m. Philippine time, and San Jose, California time 5:30 in the morning. You can also watch the replays of Cybernext. Check out our page on Facebook or YouTube by searching hashtag PNC Now. Enjoy these inspiring shows because we made them for you. Back to our guest for tonight, Dr. Joseph Lee. Siya po ay guest ko ng April 29 last year. Isang kilala premiadong urologist and now a certified public speaker. Let's talk about your journey to public speaking. You made an incredible run. First batch, pioneering batch at the Public Speaking Institute. Tell us your story about that.
my story begins, Lloyd, as I was, as you posted this uh, certified public speaking institute and this training for the first time in your Facebook, okay, and YouTube. Then I was thinking at the back of my mind, oh, first I know this guy. This is a person with credentials beyond his name. So, ibig sabihin, I can learn something on public speaking. Second, I was thinking, do I need it? Because is it significant in my profession? Because public speaking is a different line when you talk about my line as a doctor who speaks as a resource person on in the same field of profession as doctors and nurses and the like. But it is always my motto that say to tell myself that is my speaking ability up to this point, can I learn something more, do can I learn more techniques, or what I'm doing needs to what you call that, you know, to end, parang end in the sense na parang kailangan kong mag-retire kasi I've been doing speaking engagement as a doctor for the last more than 15 years to certain ay mga pharma companies, no? So I never Lloyd had second thoughts. I took the chance and I enrolled. Then
And now you're
not
here.
thinking not thinking that initially kasi ang ano ko lang is like it's late. So it's late. I can go with the time because my work in the hospital is morning and afternoon. So I will have more free time. Then as the class goes, sabi ko ay marami pa pala, no? There are things that not only you as a doctor who's speaking in a forum of the same professional field, you can tweak your techniques, 'di ba? Kasi as I mentioned to you before, Lloyd, parang kami kasi we follow a certain program of presentation. And as a public speaker like you guys, it's a different stage, 'di ba? Even if we have the same stage, the same podium, the same microphone, sometimes we deliver it on a different note. So I think um, entering the course, the CPS, has given me a more broader aspect of knowledge and understanding that I can do more and I can um, see myself improving in the sense that I can still do this certain public speaking technique into my craft that I've been doing in the past. Yun ang
Mm.
inaano ko. Oo, parang it's something new. Like example, like the things that you asked us to do, the 3 slides.
Mhm.
When that assignment came, sabi ko, paano kaya gagawin ang 3 slides sa isang core subject? That was the first time. This is the first time you're gonna hear it from me. Diba? Parang, paano kaya yun? Tapos meron, first slide, title, yung opening spiel. Tapos yung second slide, parang yung core. Then the third slide, yung parang ending mo na. Oh my God, sabi ko, I used to speak in
And
15, 20, 25 slides. But
okay, so
but
it
it's
changed.
fun.
Yeah.
It changed, and
Uh,
especially the archetype, it was significant to me because it's totally me. Yun, di
mm,
ba? Yung
good.
totally me, kasi I'm a sage, di ba, magician and jester. But my
Right.
jester is 20%, my sage is 60%. So sabi mo
Mm.
noon, during the class, you can improve your jester. Sabi ko, how can I do? Hindi naman ako kasing galing ng jester mo. Try mo kasi baka maging katawa-tawa ko. Pero I
Indeed.
did that
Indeed.
now. pwede pala,
Yeah.
unti-unti. You have to really,
Mm.
uh,
Sige.
experience it.
Doc, I'm going to pause for another short commercial, and then when we come back, pag-usapan natin yung mga takeaways mo pa from the Public Speaking Institute. And now, as a certified public speaker, ano yung mga bagay na nagagawa mo na hindi mo nagagawa dati? Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. Big Picture on TNC. We'll be right back. Please stay on our stream. Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Picture on TNC. Again, we'd like to invite you to watch our other shows on TNC. Healthline Couple Goals Win Within every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Market Leader YOLO, Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Negosyo at Home, Fridays, 12 noon. Tech U, TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays, 5:30 p.m. Danny Art Show, After Shift, Women at Work, COVID Stories, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty the Fork Project. Catch also our TNC specials one day, TNC Arena, TNC Presscon, and TNC Town Hall. Saturdays at 7 p.m. co-hosted by yours truly, founders. And Apple, TNC Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valid audience. More upcoming shows, follow hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube. Allow your passion to inspire you. And together, let us hashtag see the new you. Back to the studio is Dr. Joseph Lee. Siya po ay isang certified public speaker. Dr. Joseph Lee, what has changed in the way you are doing public speaking? Ano yung parang gamit na gamit mo na ngayon after the program?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, Coach Lloyd, for accepting me sa Public Speaking Institute. And it's not about the CPS certification. And I'm very proud of my batch 1. Yay, batch 1, it's fun. It's fun to listen to other people of diverse profession, minsan kasi they would know that if I'm listening quietly, because when you listen, sometimes you learn. Sometimes there are people who you ask questions later on when you're not sure of what others are, that are you want to learn, others ideas and how they do things. Okay, now what is significant for me, Lloyd, is I can remember is the 3 C's: your character, your content, and competency. I think sa amin naman kasi andun na yung content and competency. But what makes it more significant is when you're talking to us with regards to the character. That makes one speaker different from the other. If you're just a plain character, wala. You will never be hired, or you never be not really taken serious, but of course you probably will not be getting another stint in a speaking venue, no? Because character one is a mold of your personality, how you deliver, 'di ba? For me, kasi
Mm.
parang kung wala kang character, parang 'di ba lagi sinasabi, tama ba 'yon? Correct me, Lloyd. Parang ay, he's just the same as the rest. Pero sa akin feeling ko yung when I was learning it, parang ay, kaya naman siguro namin makuha yung content, the competency. But pag wala kayong character, wala. So on the forefront kasi with the other attributes that we were learning during our course, sabi ko, kailangan buong-buo pala ang molde mo. You tell
Mm.
a story, you give you give a good opening spiel, hindi
Mm.
pa palamya-lamya kasi umpila lang palamya, wala ka na. So that's
Mm.
part and parcel of character for me, 'di ba? How
and
you
and being
deliver.
and being able to embrace it, no, or
Oh yeah, and embrace it. And you follow it slowly. Kagaya sabi ko, natutuwa ako wag mo nga anuhin yung 3 slides mo. I'm following it na. 'Di ba sabi ko kanina, when we were in backstage, I had a resource guesting. They were asking me, Doc, may slides ka ba? O binigay ko 3. Gumawa lang ako. Bakit 3? Kasi dati kasi alam nila mga 15, 10, hindi naman 10, ganun. Kaya na yan. Sure ka? Isang oras kalahati, 3? Hindi, ikot-ikutin ko na lang. So doon papasok yung point na tinuro mo na a bit of storytelling, your experience, yung ganon, yung mga ano.
and then
Then the
one of
gesture part,
and most of the things that you will say and present to them, nasa iyo naman na for the longest time, di ba? Be like yung expert.
yeah. No, now kasi mine kasi is like, you know the topic, you know the subject. But the thing is, how do you make the subject more palatable for
Mhm.
me? Yun ang tinuro ng CPS sa akin ng public speaking institute. Parang alam na yan eh. You explained that eh. Paano mo siya kahit na paulit-ulit, alam mo Lloyd, papakinggan ka pa rin. Ano, 'di ba? Tama ba 'yon? Do I make you proud? Hindi parang ay narinig ko na yan si Dr. Lee, ayaw ko na yan. Ganyan din sasabihin niya. Pero when you go to another platform and start to speak, ganun ang tirada ni Dr. Lee. Ay, hindi Bakit may paganyan siya?
Mm.
Then pag meron kang ganyan, 'di ba siguro that was the time that you were telling us na people will want to listen to you constantly
Mm.
because your lecture on the first might not be the same on the second and the third and the fourth. Kasi
Right.
nagbabago mo spice, hindi ka na nagiging monotonous. Kasi sa amin, kasi may iba sa amin, may disik, dire-diretso lang. Alam mo yan, di ba? Pag doctor, yan, ganyan-ganyan na lang. Ganyan-ganyan na lang. So, I think the course for me as a doctor, as a profession, springs about a different avenue of how I will deliver my talks in a form that is more or less your style
Right.
of
Um,
platform as a
as a certified public speaker now, Doc, ano yung big picture dito sa larangang ito na na-realize mo when you finish the course and get the certification?
there is a lot of room to learn.
Mhm.
There is a lot of room to learn. When I say learn, kasi you should not always tell yourself na alam ko na yan. Kasi when you learn, doon papasok yung passion mo eh.
Mhm.
Kasi when you are teaching us, yung passion is like what? Telling a story, di ba? Lagi mo sinasabi. Kasi how
Mhm.
can you tell a story when you're not passionate about it? Di
Right.
ba? Kailangan ng lalabas ikaw. Ikaw yun
Mhm.
eh. So, parang passion mo yan eh. So, when you speak, you have to have that passion. Ikaw, di ba? When you speak. when you show us a sample of your mga speaking, di ba? Parang lahat yata ng katawan mo gumagalaw.
May mga
Specifically, I like the book. Yung kinuha sa'yo, tapos kinuha mo ulit, tapos alam mo yon, alam mo yan. They have to listen to that sample, di
part
ba?
of the part of the presentation, the theatrical criticality of presentation.
It's not something that nasabi. Ako kasi I was told by some of my friends, mga na, meron ka ng ganyan, bakit you need to enter this, you speak naman, madaldal ka naman. It's not madaldal. Alam mo, Lloyd, it's not talking.
Which I think is yun yung old belief ng mga tao na akala na public speaking ay kakayahang makapagsalita lang. It is way beyond.
No. It's all technique and it's all it's
plan, it's strategy.
Strategy, right. 'Di ba? Form your identity, 'di ba? That makes you different from one to the other, 'di ba? Parang ikaw, nag-iisa ka lang, 'di ba? Isa ka lang Lloyd Luna.
Okay, nag-iisa ka lang. Ikaw nag-iisa ka lang Dr. Joseph Lee, so walang problema. Doc, ano ang Facebook account? Ano ang Facebook mo para people can follow you before we close the show? Ano ang Facebook mo, YouTube, and social media?
Ang bilis ng oras, no? Sayang. Dr. Joseph Lee. Yan lang naman.
Yun
Dr.
lang.
Joseph Lee.
Hanapin ka lang nila doon. And Doc, thank you so much again for coming. Appreciate your time. I hope you keep yourself healthy and away from the virus. Frontliner ka. Meron ka ng first job, no? Tapos na yung first job.
Dalawa na. Tapos
Nakadalawa na.
Okay, good. Nakadalawa lang.
Thanks God. Sige. So maraming salamat ulit sa time mo. Appreciate it. This is your anniversary with the big picture.
Yes.
So, always stay safe.
Thank you for inviting me always. Coach Sergeant Lloyd Luna. Dito ulit sa The Big Picture. And greetings to my batch 1, 'di ba? Yung mga mag-ano na tayo, mag-part de. We have to have a show like this dito sa TNC, no, yung batch namin. siguro ang gulo namin, no? My God, Lloyd.
For sure. I can assure that. I can attest to that. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Lee.
Thank you. Good evening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Joseph Lee is a premier urologist in the Philippines. Maraming salamat. Siya po ay certified public speaker din from the Public Speaking Institute. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood. We'd like to thank Puzzlebox BPO Inc. This is also sponsored by Unisol, Aliagaray Supply Rice and Well Home, and the Public Speaking Institute. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood. I'm going to see you again tomorrow for another inspirational show here on The Big Picture, only on TNT. Good night, everybody.